This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Okay, so thanks to everyone who's said some kind words about either of these guitars actually, and I got a few, messages of congratulations. The Danocaster actually was an unexpected purchase. The Nacho Caster was in the long-term plan, but it ended up coming up way quicker than I expected since it came up in Coda, and I kind of had to act fast because they don't come up that often. And so both of these guitars bought from Coda. I could have done this video sooner when I got this Danocaster and compared it to Jake's Nacho, but I thought actually that probably didn't make too much sense because Jake's guitar is sort of one of a kind in that it changed my mind on a bunch of things and was what made me think about maybe wanting a Nacho Caster. So I think I put that guitar too high on a pedestal to really do a fair comparison. So you'll see the bodies up close. I think the Nacho guitars thing, it's all about really lots of attention to detail into the sorts of things that I guess really when you're playing a guitar don't matter so much. It is quite a lot of superficial work. There is also a lot of important work around, sort of building ferrules the same and all of this sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, when you're playing the guitar, it feels like a Tele, plays like a Tele, and hopefully sounds like a Tele. The Danocaster, the relicing is pretty decent, I still think. I really like the fretboard on the Dano. This fretboard is a little bit more aggressive, especially on the back side of the neck. I think that's going to be a bit more marmite-y. Now, in terms of the things that really matter though, like how does it play? So I should also say that Dan would not do this with his own guitars. He doesn't put the Tele screws on the pickguard, so this is an aftermarket thing. It's a set of Ron Ellis pickups in here. I don't know what are in this Nacho, but they're relatively low output. What I did notice was that they're actually both, for Teles, quite distinct sounding. It's a really, really unscientific way to sort of show you something, but unplugged. In theory, that's like the inherent voice of the guitar, right? And this one, quite a lot darker, the Dano quite a lot brighter. So that could be definitely a thing that some people are going to prefer either way as well. Even though they're both, you know, so this one is like £7 and 1 ounce. I think the Dano is even slightly lighter than that. This one. Is comparatively quite a lot brighter. Also, there's like a bit more clarity. But there is something I really do appreciate about this Danocaster. And so I wouldn't say it's like a totally cut and dry thing for me, which I prefer. Like this, to me, slightly lighter. It's got a more chunky C-shaped neck, which actually feels super comfortable in the hand. The fret edges are super, super smooth, and the pickups, I think, sound really, really good. And loads of jangle. And also the middle position I way prefer on this, because unfortunately at the moment the middle position is humbuck. So switching between the two of them, I do really feel like it sort of feels like the Nacho kind of has the tone rolled back a bit. The Dano is a brighter guitar, and I think a little bit livelier too. So distinctly different, really, is kind of how I would put it. Both great guitars. I'm not going to be able, I don't think, to keep both. So again, if you're interested in either of them, do send me an email. I do have someone who's definitely interested in the Danocaster. So I'm super grateful to have got to at least try both of these for a moment. I thought that the Danocaster was going to be in my possession for a certain amount of time, until I think December was when the Nacho thing would have been actually arriving if I'd gone through with an order there. But you know, since I've got a Nacho Caster here, I'm going to kind of let it settle for a bit and then sort of make a decision on this. Things that I want to change on this guitar is that pickup position, so that it's got a true Tele position in the middle, and then maybe raise this neck pickup height a bit. Other than that, the other thing I will say is that the fret edges of the Nacho Caster are a little bit more pronounced in some places, where this is a super comfortable, no fret sproutiness to it at all. Whereas I think this could do with, there's just like I can feel a bit with my fingernail of the fret edge there. So I don't know, those are kind of my immediate thoughts. Both lightweight, great Teles in my opinion. I think the relic job on them looks better on average than you tend to see coming out of like the Fender Custom Shop, which can kind of sometimes look a little bit plasticky. I think the Danocaster to me is not out of line in things like K-Line and some other really good builders like that, which of course I really like. I would also say actually the rounding off on the headstock on the Dano I really appreciate as well. They've done some, I don't know, I think both of these builders are doing great jobs, and of course the Danocaster is much more affordable for a guitar which I think is in the wheelhouse for sure. It's just it ends up sounding pretty different to this one, but not in a bad way at all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. 2 ridiculous Teles that have arrived in the same month. Crazy.